Let's return to our Saxon math lesson, worksheet number 75 right here, and that is on page 301. And again, when we work on this page today, remember you are the teacher. So for instance, if we're at Luka's house and he's with his dad, this is Luka T, he's going to say, hey Dad, how much is 8 plus 2? And his dad's going to say, oh, 8 plus 2 is 10, Luka. And he said, Dad, can you prove it to me? And so he's going to show me. He goes, okay, Dad, take your pencil and put it on the number 8. Okay, like that. And he said, now, since it's a plus sign, we have to move towards the bigger numbers. So he's going to go, okay, Dad, jump 2 spaces. 1, 2. And it's going to stop on 10. And he goes, you're right, Dad. 8 plus 2 equals 10. And then Luka will put a little check here. Okay. So then next, we'll go to Blake's house. And Blake is working with his dad. And he says, hey, Dad, how much is 3 plus 2? And his dad said, easy, Blake, that's 5. He goes, okay, Dad, let's do it the way mathematicians do it. So let me show you how that's done. And Blake's going to tell his dad, put your pencil on the number 3. So then he's going to say, you're going to move towards the bigger number because it's a plus sign. So go ahead and jump 2 spaces. 1, 2. And you land on the 5. So he said, hey, Dad, you're right. 3 plus 2 equals 5. And then Blake will give that a check. Okay. Then we're going to go to Quinn, and she's going to be probably with her brother Julian. And she's going to say, hey, Julian, how much is 5 plus 2? And he's going to say, hey, I don't know, 8? She goes, well, I'm going to show you how that's done. Okay, so then she said, put your pencil here on the 5. And you're going to jump 2 spaces that way towards the higher number. So he's going to jump 1, 2. And it turns out that 5 plus 2 is 7. So she goes, let me show you how you can fix that, Julian. So Quinn will cross out the 8 and turn that into a 7. Okay, so now Dylan and Jack are working together. And Dylan says to his brother Jack, hey, Jack, how much is 1 plus 2? And Jack's going to say, that's easy, 3. And he goes, I'm going to show you how we do it when you're a mathematician. So he said, here, Jack, put your pencil on the 1, and then you're going to jump 2 spaces towards the bigger number, which is that way, okay? So he says, Jack, jump 2 spaces, 1, 2, and Jack lands on the 3, so Dylan says, you're right. We just proved that 1 plus 2 equals 3, and then Dylan's going to put a check by the 3. Okay, so then we've gone to Gianna's house, and she's working with her mom, and she says, hey, Mom, how much is 9 plus 2? And her mom says, it's 11. She goes, Mom, you got to prove it to me. Come over here and hold the pencil, put it on the number 9, and you're going to move 2 spaces towards the bigger number. Ready? Go. 1, 2. And her mom lands on the 11, and she says, see, Mom, 9 plus 2 equals 11. You just proved it. And Gianna's going to put a check mark on the 11. Okay. We're going to keep going. This time we're going to move to Kai's house. And Kai is working with Malia, his sister, and Eli's little brother. And he's going to say, hey, Eli, how much is 2 plus 2? And Eli's going to say, I don't know, 0. And he goes, okay, let's work this together. So he's going to say, hey, Malia, why don't you help me show Eli how this is done? So Malia helps Eli hold the pencil at the 2. And she's going to say, we're going to move towards the bigger number. So if you move towards the lower number, then it would be 0, but we're not taking away, we're adding, right? So she shows them, okay, jump 2 spaces, Eli, 1, 2. So Eli and Malia show Kai that 2 plus 2 equals 4. So then Kai's going to show them how you cross out that 0 and you write a 4 there instead, okay? The next house we're going to, Tyler and Casey are working together. And Tyler says to Casey, Casey, how much is 6 plus 2? And Casey says, I think it's 8. He said, well, you don't have to think. We can prove it. Come over here. I'll show you. So Casey puts her pencil at the 6. And he says, okay, jump 2 spaces towards the bigger numbers. So she goes 1, 2. And Tyler says, see, we just proved it because we're mathematicians. That 6 plus 2 equals 8. And then Tyler puts a check on the 8. Right? So then we go over to Isabella's house, and she's with her brother Will, and she says, hey, Will, how much is 0 plus 2? And he says, that's easy, it's 2. And she said, can you show me mathematically? She says, come here, I'll show you. So she has Will put his pencil by the 0, and she says, okay, jump 2 spaces towards the bigger number, 1, 2. And she says, see, now you're a mathematician. You just proved that 0 plus 2 equals 2. And then Isabella checks that off. And then we're with Madeline and Troy, and Madeline says to Troy, "Hey, Troy, how much is 7 plus 2?" And Troy says, "I think it's 9." And she says, "Well, come here, I'll show you. We can prove what 7 plus 2 is." So she helps him hold the pencil at the 7. She goes, "Okay, jump 2 spaces towards the bigger number." So that means that way. So he goes 1, 2, and he lands on the 9. And she says, "See, Troy, you just proved mathematically that 7 plus 2 is 9. And then Madeline puts a check by the number 9. And then we're going to Kamani's house, and Kamani is with Sammy, his little baby brother, and he says, "Hey, Sammy, how much is 4 plus 2? And Sammy, who's like just barely learned to talk, just shouts out 6, just randomly. And he says, "Come here, Sammy, I'll help you hold the pencil and prove to you how this is done." So he helps him hold the pencil at 4, and then he helps him move it 2 spaces to the right, 1, 2, to land on the 6. And he says, "See, Sammy, we just proved that we're mathematicians, and 4 plus 2 equals 6. Okay, well, that was fun. Thank you for letting me come on a tour of your homes, doing your math together. Give yourselves an exit ticket, and I look forward to doing math again with you on Monday.